Welcome back, everybody. It's your good friend Josheb, and I am here once again on Monday for another special edition of the Monday Melee. This week we have for you MVP Black versus Danawa Jokers in the Heroes Community Open Tournament Season 2 Grand Finals Game 3 on Sky Temple. We join the action as both teams are preparing for the activation of the second temple at the southernmost point of the map. You can see that Jaina and Rhaegar are already starting to take the knights at the top of the map, opposite of where the temple is going to spawn, while Danawa Jokers are choosing to take the giant camp at the southern point right above where the temple is going to start. Now notice that top knight camp that Jaina and Rhaegar are working on has not been captured, but they have come down and started working on the giant camp. More on that a little bit later. Magi comes up to try and give some vision to his team, but he has no intention of trying to contest this camp. Jaina and Rhaegar are going to be able to capture the giants with no interference, and they're going to use them to stop the push the Jokers have created in the bottom lane. Now the teams are symmetrical, with the major force of both teams occupying the bottom lane, awaiting the inevitable announcement that the bottom temple is going to be activating shortly. However, just before the temple activates, the Jokers decide they want to take their own knight camp to have some aggression top lane while they fight for the bottom. In order to do this, they have to send 3 people to the knight camp to make sure it's taken in a timely fashion. But remember the MVP knight camp? It's been dead but uncaptured for quite some time. Rather than having to send up multiple people to take their own camp, Leoric can make a quick solo trip and capture it by himself in order to counter the top lane aggression. This strategy allows Falstad to get almost half of the temple shots before Joker can even respond. And as Joker pushes into the bottom, Falstad's able to make a quick escape by utilizing barrel roll over the terrain. With the entire Joker team taking the bottom temple, let's see how MVP Black responds. We're gonna freeze frame here just a moment and admire what's happening. First off, take notice of Rhaegar's Earthbind totem, which is actually giving them vision into the bush and showing them that they have nothing to worry about on that side. Next, take note of the incredible positioning by MVP Black. Not since the Mighty Ducks Flying V have we seen such a dominant display of what it means to go in as a team. And not only is their initial positioning great, but watch the order that they actually enter this engagement. Lockdown is going to be the first one in, and he's going through the bush that they know is safe. The assassins are going to fall in line behind him as they have an effective front line, as Muradin strolls right past Tyrael as if he doesn't even see him. As the support, Rhaegar is going to wait until this fight is underway before he comes in after his tank. Because Tyrael was chosen as a solo tank, the Jokers don't have an effective front line, leaving their sweet and nougaty backline exposed. Leoric presents himself as the only viable target, but through a combination of Drain Hope and heals from Rhaegar, he's able to keep himself alive. In fact, they blew everything on him. Leoric absorbed Gravity Lapse, Penetrating Round, Double Bomb, Flame Strike, and Chain Lightning. It's safe to say the Jokers spent almost everything trying to bring him down. Meanwhile, Kharazim has taken so much damage he's forced to retreat, and that's Muradin's signal to jump deep into the backline and start cracking skulls. Raynor is called as the new target, and Jaina drops a Blizzard on top of him as Muradin stuns him inside the Blizzard for max damage. Leoric uses Wraithwalk to get deep into the backline and start chunking away at the surviving members of the Jokers as Raynor does indeed go down. MVP Black turns their attention next to Kael'thas, who is the squishiest assassin within view, while both Thrall and Kharazim decide they're going to start hitting the tanks. Rhaegar and Jaina are both in view at this point, but they're so focused on trying to save Kael'thas that they're hitting the stronger targets. Both Leoric and Muradin have made themselves impossible to ignore, and the entirety of the Joker team is trying to take them down before they can take down Kael'thas. This is giving free reign to both Jaina and Falstad, who are absolutely dumping damage into the rest of the team. As Kael'thas goes down, it just becomes a matter of cleaning up the low health targets in order. Kharazim falls, and then it's up to both Thrall and Tyrael to try and get some sort of trade out of this, but some well-timed chain heals from Rhaegar prevent both the Chain Lightning and the Smite from finishing either low health warrior. This is compounded by the fact that Tyrael is trying to kill Muradin and Thrall is trying to kill Lockdown, neither one succeeding in their goal. In fact, both Thrall and Tyrael seem to be suffering from a severe case of tunnel vision, ineffectively chasing both Muradin and Leoric, who are apparently the reigning schoolyard freeze tag champs at their alma maters. As Thrall goes down, Tyrael is soon to follow, and the Joker's hopes of getting any sort of trade in this exchange explode into angel dust as Tyrael expires. Now I know this fight is a little unusual because we're showcasing a team fight prior to level 10, so there were no ultimates utilized in this engagement. But I chose this fight in particular because it's the second phase of the temples, which is the bottom solo temple, and I know from my tenure in this game that it's a phase many players struggle with. Many times you will not have your level 10 talents yet, and it can be daunting to engage the bottom temple properly when it's already occupied by the enemy. But MVP Black shows exactly how it's done. The first takeaway I have for you is to notice that Falstad was not greedy. He took as many shots as he could safely get, and then he regrouped with his team. The extra 2 to 3 shots he could have gotten before he died would not have been worth his death. Second, notice that MVP Black goes all in at the same time as 5. They don't lollygag, they don't go in one at a time, they go in as a group and overwhelm the enemy. Third, they have a strong front line that absorbed the opening onslaught. Don't forget how much damage Leoric was able to absorb, which kept most of his team safe throughout the engagement. And lastly, they focused their targets and did not spread damage. This is extremely important, especially when ultimates are not available yet and every damaging ability counts. So next time you're getting ready to engage the bottom, remind them in chat that you want to go in as 5 and that tank should be the first into the engagement. That alone is enough to give you a solid advantage as your team enters the Thunderdome. I understand that this was an unusual engagement, and I hope you got something out of it. If you have any feedback, if you liked it, didn't like it, please let me know in the comments so I know what you're looking for in the future. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. We are still looking for more replays for the Hero League series, so send those on over to joshebgaming@gmail.com. And lastly, don't forget to visit josheb.com for all your Josheb gaming needs, including the link to our newly founded Twitch channel. We'll see you next week!